The film begins with a young boy named Mowgli who is running away with the wolves from a predator. They decide to escape from it, and while he is running, he steps on a tree trunk which breaks. So he falls to the ground and the predator reaches him. This was a panther named Bagheera, and we learned that this panther found Mowgli when he was an infant in the jungle. He was now training with him. His goal was not to eat Mowgli, and he tells Mowgli, "If I were truly planning to hunt you, you would have been dead. So you must not stray from the wolf pack and run with them." But Mowgli doesn't take his words seriously, telling him, "I could have escaped from you if it wasn't for the tree trunk that broke." Bagheera replies, "You are also at fault for climbing a dead tree. You must, since you are living the life of the wolves, know all this information." We understand from their conversation that Mowgli is trying to live as a wolf, but he always failed the test. After that, Bagheera took Mowgli to join the wolf pack. There, we meet Mowgli's father and mother, whose names are Akela and Raksha. They raised Mowgli for many years, but Mowgli was facing difficulty behaving like them as a wolf, and he didn't know how to fit in with his small wolf siblings. His mother Raksha asked him, "What did you do in the test?" Mowgli told her, "I failed as usual." After that, all the wolves howl at the same time, and Mowgli howls like them. After a while, the rainy season ends, and consequently a drought falls upon the jungle. The drought this season will be severe to the extent that the lake with water dries up significantly, and a rock that was at the bottom of the lake appears, and its name is the Peace Rock. It is a law of the jungle that when the Peace Rock appears, peace falls upon the jungle, and animals are forbidden from hunting each other. Everyone can gather and drink water in peace. Indeed, we see the ferocious animals drinking water side by side with the rest of the animals. Mowgli appears and sees all the animals gathered. He was excited to go to the lake. Raksha tells him that these animals have never seen a human before, so he must behave well with them. Mowgli goes down among the animals, and despite his mother's warnings, he throws a basket into the lake to drink water with it. The animals get scared of him, and Akela intervenes, telling Mowgli, "You are supposed to be a wolf, and you shouldn't act this way. You must live as a wolf." After that, Akela sees the birds in the sky flying strangely, and he understands that a dangerous animal is coming, so he orders Mowgli not to move. Indeed, after seconds, a dangerous tiger named Shere Khan appears and goes to the lake to drink water. The animals are scared of him and move away from him. Shere Khan is surprised when he smells a human scent and wonders if there is a human here. Akela replies to him, "There is a human living with us, and I consider him one of us." All the wolves stand ready to defend Mowgli in any way. Shere Khan tells them, "Since when has a human been living with us in the jungle?" Akela told him, "He is just a small, peaceful boy." Shere Khan warns, "The injury on my face came to me from a human, and this Mowgli will one day grow up and become an aggressive and wicked person, and he will try to kill us. It is not a law of the jungle for a human to live with us." Raksha told him, "And what do you know about the law? You hunt in the jungle and kill for pleasure, and you don't respect the laws of the jungle." Shere Khan said, "I will respect the peace and the truce, but I will come back again when the river is full, and I will kill you, the one who is defending this human." He takes off and leaves. After several months, the rain starts to return and the drought ends. Mowgli sees the wolves from afar gathering every day and consulting to decide what they will do with Mowgli. Mowgli decides to join them, and his decision is to leave the jungle so that none of the wolves are harmed because of him. All the wolves agree to this idea, except for Raksha, because she considers Mowgli her son and doesn't want him to leave. But Akela tells her, Mowgli's decision is the right one, and he must join the humans. It's better for him and for us. I am the one who brought him here, and I am responsible for returning him. Raksha was still objecting, but Akela tells her there is no other solution, and your son will not be safe unless he leaves. So Raksha falls silent and is forced to agree, telling Mowgli, "You will remain my son, no matter what happens." He says goodbye and leaves. On the same night, Bagheera and Mowgli set out on their long journey. While they are on the road, they meet a herd of elephants, and Mowgli bows to the elephants because they respect him greatly. After that, they continue their journey and reach a grassy land where buffalo live. But Bagheera suddenly senses danger and orders Mowgli to escape to the valley and head north immediately. Mowgli, as usual, is constantly objecting, but Bagheera ignores him and keeps focusing on something he sees moving in the grass. Suddenly, Shere Khan appears. Bagheera saves Mowgli at the last second, and a fierce battle begins between the two. Even though Bagheera was a strong panther, he was not stronger than Shere Khan, and he is defeated by him. Shere Khan starts chasing Mowgli, but what saves Mowgli is that the buffalo hit Shere Khan. Mowgli takes the opportunity, keeps running, and jumps into the valley. He sees the buffalo running as they are scared of Shere Khan. Mowgli rides on one of them and escapes from Shere Khan. Shere Khan gets annoyed when he sees him escaping, and he returns to the wolf pack in the jungle. He sits next to Akela and asks him, "Why didn't you hand the boy over to me?" Akela told him, "Mowgli decided to live with humans like himself, and there are no longer any problems between you and me. We want peace to settle in the jungle." But Shere Khan didn't like this talk, and he attacked Akela and killed him, cutting off his head with the utmost ease. Shere Khan threatens the rest of the wolves and tells them, "I didn't want all this to happen, but you stood in my way. From now on, this area will be mine. Spread the news of Akela's death throughout the whole jungle until Mowgli knows and comes willingly. Until he returns, I will not leave here." Raksha was in utter terror. We return to Mowgli, who was sleeping on the back of a buffalo. When he wakes up, he finds it walking on a small slope, and he sees an earthquake happens in the mountain, so he gets scared and jumps until he falls into the water. He grabs onto a tree branch until he reaches the north in a terrifying-looking place. He enters and wanders in the jungle looking for Bagheera. He finds a very huge snakeskin. He finds some fruit on the tree, and he was very hungry, so he climbs up to it and eats. He meets a wolf, and he continues eating until two other wolves stole the fruit. Mowgli runs after them and climbs up the tree. After that, he starts hearing strange sounds. A very huge snake appears and tells Mowgli, "I will talk to you until Bagheera arrives." The snake tells him, "I know who you are and I know where you came from." Mowgli tells her while scared, "I'm waiting for a friend and I will leave right away." The snake tells him, "Don't be afraid, I will protect you until your friend arrives." Mowgli is deceived and remains standing. After that, the snake hypnotizes Mowgli. She seizes control of his mind and tells him about a human who was traveling in the jungle and stopped to camp in the cave. All the animals were staying away from him and were afraid of him because of the fire he had with him. But Shere Khan was not scared and he entered the cave to eat him, but the human was able to attack him in his face and cause the injury that is now on Shere Khan's face. In the end, Shere Khan killed the human. After that, he ran away from the cave to treat the wound he had, but he didn't realize that Mowgli as a child was present in the cave with the human. It becomes clear that this human is Mowgli's father. After that, Bagheera appeared and took Mowgli to live with the wolves. Since that day, all the animals became afraid of fire, including Shere Khan himself. After the story finished, the snake successfully managed to hypnotize Mowgli. She wrapped her body around him to eat him. Mowgli was completely unfocused. The snake opens her mouth to eat him, but at the last second, a bear appeared and attacked the snake. So the snake left Mowgli and Mowgli fainted. When he woke up the next day, he finds himself in the bear's cave whose name was Baloo. Mowgli, when he sees him, gets scared and screams, but Baloo calms him down and says to him, "I am the one who saved your life from the snake, and you must now repay the favor to me." Baloo takes him and leaves the cave. He takes him to that mountain and tells him, "At the top of the mountain there are many beehives, and I want you to climb to the top and bring me the honey. And I cannot do that myself because I am afraid of heights." Mowgli is shocked because it is a difficult task, but Baloo begs him to agree. He tells him, "I have to eat a lot daily so that I can carry out my day normally, and I must store large quantities before winter comes." So Mowgli helps him and goes to collect branches and stones to make tools to help him climb. Indeed, he succeeds and reaches the beehive, but the bees attack and sting him on his body. Baloo down below encourages him to continue and not give up. Mowgli manages to drop large quantities of honey, but he was very tired because of the bee stings and goes down to Baloo. He complains and Baloo tells him, "Put honey on the places you were stung and you will feel better." Mowgli then took off and was leaving because he had already repaid the favor to him, but Baloo comes after him and asks him not to leave. Mowgli told him, "It won't work, I have to go live with the humans." So Baloo offers to take him there. Indeed, he takes him and they set out on their journey. At night, they arrive and see the human village from afar. Baloo warns him about the fire the humans lit because fire is very harmful and destroys everything in its path, and it is a human invention, so beware of underestimating it.
Mowgli becomes upset that his days in life with the animals will end. He says, "I never imagined that I would leave the jungle one day." Baloo tells him, "I have been trying to get to the honey for years, but I fail, and what you did today amazed me." Mowgli told him, "Because I acted and used the way of humans, not the way of the wolves." Baloo told him, "Every living creature has a way of life. What do you think about staying as you are, as a human, but living with me in the jungle and collecting a large quantity of honey for me before winter? And you can go to the human village any time if you want, and I will take you there myself." Mowgli agrees and tells him, "I will collect the honey for you until winter only." The next morning, Mowgli collects the tools he will need to climb the mountain and protect himself from bee stings. The small animals help him. He builds a long rope and a basket to drop the honey in. At the same time, he covers his body with tree leaves. The friendship between Mowgli and Baloo increases. They play together in the water. One day they are surprised by the appearance of Bagheera. Mowgli runs to him and hugs him. He tells him what happened to him and that Baloo saved him. He shows him the quantity of honey he collected for Baloo. But Bagheera gets angry at him and tells him, "This is not the life of the wolves that Akela taught you, and if you want to live this way, then it should be in the human village. You will leave with me immediately and without discussion." Baloo calms him down and tells him, "Spend the night here tonight and leave tomorrow morning at the break of dawn." Bagheera agrees. Mowgli is upset that he disappointed Bagheera. At night, while everyone is sleeping, Mowgli hears some elephants screaming in the jungle, so he goes to see what's wrong. It turns out that a small elephant fell into that hole. They are screaming because they don't know how to get it out. So Mowgli goes and takes the ropes he made. He uses them and pulls the small elephant out of the hole. Bagheera and Baloo had woken up and saw what Mowgli did. They are impressed with Mowgli and feel proud. Baloo tells Bagheera, "Mowgli is a talented boy, don't let him leave. Let him live in the jungle as he is, as a human." Bagheera tells him, "I am forced to take him to the human village because Shere Khan is hunting him. Shere Khan killed Akela and he will not stop until he reaches Mowgli, and nothing will save Mowgli except for him to go to the human village. So try to help me and convince Mowgli to come with me." Baloo is shocked and very afraid for Mowgli. He is convinced by Bagheera's words. He goes to talk to Mowgli and tells him, Bagheera's words are correct. You must leave, and the winter is approaching anyway, and you won't be able to live with me. Mowgli gets upset and tells him, I want to live with you because we are friends, Baloo. Baloo suddenly tells him, we are not friends at all. I was just exploiting you to bring me honey, and I don't want you next to me anymore. Mowgli was in utter shock, and he leaves him and walks away. Baloo said all these words against his will. He tells Bagheera, I have done what I had to do, and the words I said were the hardest thing I have ever done in my life.
Mowgli sits atop the tree, overwhelmed with sadness. Suddenly, a group of monkeys appears and kidnaps him. They keep passing him among themselves on the trees. Bagheera and Baloo try to catch up with him, but Bagheera couldn't climb the trees like the monkeys, so he is forced to run on the ground until he reaches a lake and couldn't figure out how to cross it. Baloo goes into the water and lets him jump off his back to cross to the other side. However, in the end, the monkeys climbed that mountain. Bagheera couldn't climb like them. The monkeys had taken Mowgli to a large palace. Bagheera and Baloo try to climb the mountain, even though Baloo has never climbed anything in his life. But he risks his life to save Mowgli. Meanwhile, the monkeys push Mowgli to enter their palace. Mowgli sees drawings there of monkeys enslaving humans. After that, they hide when the king of the monkeys named Louie appears and reveals his enormous size. At that moment, Bagheera and Baloo manage to climb the mountain. They advance to enter the palace. Louie tells Mowgli, I heard you want to live in the jungle, but to live here, someone must protect you from Shere Khan. I offer you protection, but in return, you will give me something specific. Mowgli is surprised and tells him, there is nothing I can offer you. Louie told him, on the contrary, you, like any human, can make fire, and I want that invention. Because no animal in the jungle can stand against fire. Mowgli tells him, I don't know how fire is made, and I want to leave here. Louie feels that Mowgli is deceiving him, so he gets angry at him and orders someone to give him the recipe for fire, because Louie wants to become like humans. He tells him, if you and I unite, the jungle will be under our control. Mowgli tells him, I truly don't know how to make fire. After that, Baloo enters by himself and starts praising Louie. He tells him, I am very happy that I saw a great and legendary king like you. I climbed this whole distance just to see you. He continues thanking and praising the rest of the monkeys. Everyone is entertained and gets involved with him. At that moment, Bagheera enters from another location and signals to Mowgli to retreat and leave quietly. Indeed, Mowgli moves with Bagheera, and Louie doesn't notice. But a monkey sees them and screams, so Louie orders the monkeys to chase them. Baloo goes out with them, and he and Bagheera stand to fight those monkeys until Mowgli escapes. But Louie gets up from his spot and chases Mowgli himself. He manages to corner him and stands in his way. He tells him, don't run away and stay with me. Mowgli told him, I want to go back to Akela. Louie told him, didn't you hear what happened to Akela? Shere Khan killed him, and he may have killed the entire wolf pack. Mowgli is shocked and refuses to believe him, and he runs away again. Louie chases him, and Mowgli runs away from him inside the palace. Louie runs after him like a madman and destroys the palace columns in his path. Mowgli jumps out of it into the jungle. Louie realizes that he destroyed the palace and it collapses on him. After that, the monkeys run to remove the debris to get their king out. Mowgli is alive and on the tree. He asks Bagheera if Akela was really killed.
Bagheera told him, yes, he was indeed killed, but we were going to tell you. Mowgli is shocked that they knew all this time and no one told him. He says, I must take action and avenge Akela. He runs off toward the human village. He sneaks in and enters the village and manages to steal a torch of fire and returns with it to the wolf pack. Bagheera and Baloo see him and follow him, but while Mowgli is running, a spark falls from him onto the ground. Mowgli doesn't notice that and keeps running. All the animals are afraid of the fire, so they head towards the water to protect themselves from the fire. After a while, Mowgli arrives and calls out to Shere Khan to appear. He tells him, I am no longer afraid of you, and no animal will be afraid of you again. Shere Khan appears and tells him, the animals are now afraid of the fire. Mowgli looks behind him and sees the jungle burning because of him. The animals move away from him, even the wolves he lived with. Shere Khan tells him, now your true nature has been revealed, because all humans cause destruction. If you manage to deceive all the animals, you won't be able to deceive me. Go on, attack me like your father did. So Mowgli proves his words and throws the fire into the water to prove to the animals that he doesn't want to harm them. Shere Khan rejoices and tells him, this is the stupidest move you've made in your life. He advances toward him to attack him, but Bagheera, Baloo, and all the animals also advance and stand next to Mowgli. Shere Khan is not afraid and runs toward them. Baloo confronts him, but Baloo cannot hold up for long, because he is not a predator. Shere Khan manages to defeat him, so Mowgli jumps onto Shere Khan. But Bagheera stops Mowgli and tells him, you won't be able to fight like the wolves, because you are not a wolf. Fight in your own way, with the methods of humans. Mowgli is convinced and runs toward the fire, while the wolves try to fight Shere Khan, but they couldn't overpower him. Shere Khan sees Mowgli from afar and runs after him, so Bagheera intervenes and obstructs him. A fierce battle takes place between them, but for the second time, Bagheera is defeated. Mowgli reaches the dead tree and thinks of a specific plan. He prepares traps to kill Shere Khan with. At the same time, the wolves return to attack Shere Khan, but Shere Khan pushes them away from his path and goes to chase Mowgli. Mowgli had finished his traps and lures Shere Khan towards him. He goes to a weak tree trunk. When Shere Khan comes after him, he keeps telling him, "I'm not afraid of you." So Shere Khan gets angry and jumps on him. But Mowgli had escaped, and the tree trunk breaks. Shere Khan falls into the fire and dies. Thus, Mowgli was able to defeat him using the methods and intelligence of humans. He sees the elephants he had helped before in front of him. He rides on the back of the elephant that rescues him and returns with it to the animals. They rejoice that he managed to win and came out alive. After that, the elephants break some trees, a stream of water is opened to the jungle toward the fire and the fires. The wolves rejoice over Mowgli. Bagheera says, "What I saw tonight is impossible for me to forget, that a young boy was able to unite all the animals for one goal." The next morning, things in the jungle returned to quietness and a state of stability. Bagheera was conducting a new test for Mowgli. Mowgli was able to surpass the wolves in the speed race. This time he uses his own way as a human, not as a wolf. Mowgli decides to live in the jungle forever. Here, we have reached the end of the episode. If you want other movies about Mowgli, tell us below in the comments. Don't forget to hit like and help us reach 10,000 likes for this episode. For whoever reaches the end of the episode, I want you to put the tree emoji in the comments so I know who liked the episode. Bye-bye.